I like this. All right, should I move the hair back? Should I have it in front, which I do with the hair? Because you guys got to be able to see the eye look. All right, let's see if we can get this clap right here. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a tutorial on this look right here. It is a beautiful peachy coral kind of a vibe that I have working. I feel like it's been a hot minute since I done a full kind of a cut crease with a winged out shape, because even though I'm kind of still following, you know, my socket shape and my natural eye shape, I kind of winged it out a little bit, and it's been a while since I've done that type of a look. And then I actually took the little winged liner and kind of pull that out into a little farther cat eye, so we got that elongated effect along with the lifted eye effect. So we've got it all kind of working today. A summer peachy glowy kind of a look. I'm all about it. I used the Colourpop's Baby Got Peach palette. I did get a couple of other items in the collection. I got a bronzer and a blush. You guys will see me use those as well, but palette looks like this. I love these shades. You guys know I'm all about the peaches and the corals. It's just basic color theory, makes blue eyes pop. I'm hoping you guys can see that, but you will in the tutorial. So yeah, love this type of palette. It is truly what I like to call a plug and play type of situation. Literally, like all the shades just mesh well together. They just melt into each other. It's truly an effortless blend. It's just an easy job all the way around when you have a plug and play kind of a situation. Very blendable, and did not have to use a mixing medium or wet my brush for these shimmers. Just a lot of pop. Just absolutely love it. Love how this came out. Yeah, so that's it. So yeah, if you guys are new here, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way YouTube notifies you each and every time I upload. And if you are new, welcome to the video. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lauren Jade. I'm 57. I have mature, crepey, wrinkly skin. I have hooded eyes that are slightly downturned. So I'm always looking for ways to, you know, just work with crepey, wrinkly skin and hooded eyes, and then I'm trying to pass my tips and tricks on to you guys. I do things a little bit differently on my channel. Those of you that watch me for a while know that, because I don't really follow along with a typical cookie cutter YouTube one-size-fits-all tutorial where they go into the crease with a large fluffy brush and just swashbuckle that color all over the place. That doesn't work for me or my eye shape. So I do things a little bit differently, but yeah, that's it. So if you guys want to see how I created this look, then just keep watching and let's just jump right into this tutorial. All right, well, I have just washed my hair and it's not holding an updo, so this is what we're working with. All right, so by the way, I did get this. Is this not stunning? I cannot wait to film a tutorial with this. This is the most beautiful palette ever. I'm going to just show you guys a sneak peek really quickly. This is definitely staying on my vanity. It is the P. Louise Sinner palette, because I'd rather laugh with the sinners than cry with the saints. Literally one of my favorite songs from Night Ranger. So here it is. I can't wait to film with that. Okay, so I've already went ahead and I primed my eyes. I did get the new P. Louise base and the brush combo also. I did play with that base just a tiny bit, and I noticed that it does have some creasing capability, so you really need to kind of set that right away and just not let it sit if you're using that P. Louise base. But I've got a little bit of the MAC Soft Ochre paint pot here on the lids. So I'm going to be dipping into this palette, and what I'm going to do is, I'm not setting this with translucent powder. I'm going to go ahead and set it with my transition shade or my halo shade, which is kind of what I've been doing lately, just kind of kicking it P. Louise style. I'm just going to kind of tap this on kind of right through the socket bone area, like the upper crease area, just kind of wherever I'm planning to place the shadows. I just want this yellow kind of shade to just kind of peek through. I guess it's kind of a yellowy peachy. It's a beautiful transition shade. It kind of reminds me of some of those Makeup Geek peach smoothie type shades. All right. By the way, I have a lot of marks on my forehead right here because I had some more skin cancer things removed. So, and this palette does not have a bone shade, so I'm just going to grab this light color Whitey Bone shade from the It Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette. I'm going to put this kind of like on the inner corner here. Just going to kind of pat this on. I'm also going to pat some out here and just kind of brush it down, kind of press it down to kind of mesh in with that Colourpop shade. I have to smell this palette literally like every time. And last year's blush bar that I have smells just as amazing. I'm taking the Benefit Cheek Leader Bronze Squad palette. You guys know this is a staple with me, bronzing the crease. Normally, I really go in and really bronze the crease and really kind of bring it in and connect it into the nose contour. I'm going to kind of do the same thing, but just not quite as much because I want to keep this whole area really light and bright for this look. So I'm not going to be taking it as much towards the inner corner and on the nose bridge, so I'm not going to be doing as much inner shading, but I do want to take a little bit because I love to brush this up towards the brow. I just love the beautiful, sexy, sultry fade that it gives, so I am going to keep with that step. So I'm going to grab a little bit of the Hoola bronzer, and I'm not going to do much with this. I'm just going to kind of dust a little bit kind of up towards the brow area. I'm keeping it a very, very light this time. Usually I, bring it in a lot more and kind of connect it into the nose contour. I'm not going to really do that this time. I'm just going to kind of brush this up and just give a really nice soft fade up and through here. So it's kind of my purpose for this bronzer today, but while I'm here, I might as well stick a little bit. When I'm in a hurry, literally, like I always throw on some nose. My phone just shut off. The joys of filming on a cell phone. I usually grab a little It Cosmetics brush like this, and I just do a really kind of quickie. I go around the little bulbous section. If you guys seen my nose contouring video on the bulbous nose, but whenever I'm in a hurry, like I always just do a little dusting right there for sure, and that just really kind of helps to define the nose. All right, I'm gonna grab my... All right, so that is it for the bronzer. That's really all I wanted to do. I'm going to go back into the Peach palette, and on a MAC 224, I'm going to go back to this shade right here, Darling, which is the light shade that I used to set the base. And I want to keep this up a little bit higher this time around. So I'm kind of almost like I'm doing a full cut crease, which I feel like I haven't done in a minute. And I'm going to take this up a little bit higher. As always, I'm kind of going up towards the brow area here. And I'm taking it in just a little bit, not much, because I'm not going all the way in with this. I want to keep this area really light and bright. So for this particular look, I'm staying more like in this upper region here of my socket bone. And then I'm kind of just feathering it out here. And for blending with this, I'm just doing a really soft blend of just kind of using the belly of the brush. And if you noticed, I really focused on holding the brush, not from down here, because that just kind of gives a really harsh line, but more so coming straight in at a slight angle upwards so that the bristles on the side of the brush will do the blending for me. This is a MAC 224, so when you do that, it works really, really nicely. I'm just doing a really soft blend right here. Palette, and I noticed that the more I just kind of layered and played with all of these shades, the more beautiful blend I got. So I'm not going to really exactly use all of the shades, but close, because I got such a really pretty blend when I was just playing. You know how we just kind of play in makeup, and that's just kind of what I got. I'm going to blend this peach into here, just really, this is called Centerfold. Okay. So I'm using a Crown C512 brush here, and I'm going to just kind of do the same thing, but just not take it as high as I did that other shade. Again, focusing on making sure that I hold the brush straight up, and I'm just taking this inward. So I'm right in my socket bone, right in that socket area, and I'm just going to feather that out. I want to keep this look really soft, lifted, and really light and bright through the center. So I'm not taking it as far in the shades as I usually do. I just got the Sonia G brush set to add to my brush collection, which, by the way, I can't wait to do my brush video because you guys know how much I love brushes, so I'm anxious to try these. I haven't really tried them really at all, so I'm gonna play now. I'm using the Builder Pro, one of the brushes in the set. I'm gonna grab this shade right here, ochre, or however you say it, and I'm gonna focus this one. I'm gonna grab my, so that I can see just a little bit better here. I'm going to kind of map out the actual fake crease with this brush because I think this is tiny enough that this is going to give me that nice shape that I want. I'm just really in the hollow of the eye and just really kind of carving out in that socket bone. I'm just kind of carving out my fake crease, and this brush is just really kind of doing the blending for me. I'm going to kind of whisk the edges out here a little bit. I want to kind of keep this fake crease line a little bit above my natural crease. So just kind of working on this shape here. Kind of bringing that in. And then I'm going to switch to my Sigma E65, my angled liner brush as I always do, and I'm just going to really kind of intensify the actual crease line. Just kind of deepen that up. You guys know that I like to have that dark to light contrast, so I just really want to deepen this. All right, I'm going to go back to this Darling shade right now, and I'm just going to kind of lightly dust that kind of right on top of that peachy shade, just to kind of bring back that little yellow so that that little yellowish shade just really kind of transitions into that crease line. I'm going to take this up and I'm going to dust this out here. All right, I'm going to go into Half Baked, this brown shade, and I'm gonna dust just like the tiniest bit just to give myself a little bit of structure and definition up on the inner corner because this is very blown out up here and I want to get some definition in there. So I'm just going to go right here and just kind of dust a little bit, kind of right in that inner corner, just to kind of give me that little tiny bit of definition right there. Very, very lightly. This is that Builder Pro brush, so it's just really just giving a nice little touch right there. And then I'm going to kind of go back, and I just want that little kind of, that little kind of, I just think it's a beautiful sultry fade. I usually do that with the bronzer, but because I'm doing a peachy look, I'm just pick that shade up instead. I'm going to go back to this palette because I need the white bone shade, and now I'm going to really carve out this cut crease, and I'm taking this really to the inner corner up here and up there because again I really want to do a really light and bright inner corner. I'm going to grab my NYX white shadow base. Now I'm using a MAC 212. I'm just going to take like the tiniest bit, and I'm just going to, where I put the white shadow from before, I'm just going to carve out this space right here, and I'm going to take this kind of high, right, because I really want to keep this whole inner part nice and bright. If you notice, I didn't take my inner corner shading as far in as I usually do. So I'm just going to carve this out here. Kind of get that nice big lid space. I want to keep this area really bright. Really nice color without the you guys know that I always like to spritz the brush and lay down that, you know, I just like to spray that brush with MAC Fix Plus. But honestly, I don't feel like this needs it. And I really don't want to bring any kind of wetness into this look because I feel like it's really kind of soft the way it is. So I think I'm just going to actually leave it and not do that today. All right, I'm just going to go and clean up the border, which is kind of right where the shimmer meets the matte. I'm just going to grab a couple of these shades that I used, and I'm just going to kind of just dust right over that shimmer just to kind of blend everything together and re-intensify that crease line right here. You know, once you do your shimmers and you do your blending, it's always a good idea to kind of go back in and just kind of re-intensify the fake crease line, because so many times it just kind of, you know, it just kind of loses its depth. So just go back in and kind of re-intensify. I'm going to actually throw these shades now on my lower lash line, and then we're going to do the smoky wing. And then I went back in and did my little fake crease line down here at the bottom. I grabbed that little half bake shade, and I'm doing this kind of like in a little winged shape almost, kind of just to kind of get everything kind of lifted up. So I completely forgot that I did get two other pieces in the peach collection. I didn't get all of them, but I got this. This is the Perk Me Up or Perk Up. This is like a light bronzer, which I did actually use on my face. It's just that I always bronze my crease with my Hoola, which is just like a staple, and I completely forgot that I was going to use that bronzer. This is the Fresh and Peachy. This is the blush. So I got those other two items, but I'm going to go into Perk Up, and I'm just going to dust a little bit extra right up here towards the brow area. I'm just going to kind of push that up. I'm just going to kind of let it melt into this little section, like right here, right in the very front. I'm not taking this down into the bridge of the nose contour like I usually do and just kind of connect everything, because I wanted this whole area right here just to be nice and bright. So I'm just going to kind of brush that up. And then I'm going to grab this Bone Shade and a JH number 10 brush, and I'm just going to kind of take that Bone Shade. I'm just going to kind of clean up out here. Just dust away any fallout. Normally I do my baking, which kind of, you know, helps to collect. But since everything was so light this time and I was just keeping everything really light, I didn't do my baking this time around. So now I am going dusting away, and then we're going to do, I'm going to smoke out a little winged liner here. I'm just going to do my normal smoky, smudgy shadow wing as always, but I'm going to take this. This is the Persona. This is a brown eyeliner here. I'm just going to take a tiny bit and just kind of smush it into the lash line. As always, this doesn't have to be perfect because I am going to be putting shadow on top of this and smudging this out. This just adds some depth to the lash line and just kind of gives the whole lash area just some dimension. And also it makes your little shadowing last longer. So there's that longevity thing there as well. But again, just kind of slapping that on. I'm going to grab from the KKW Coca palette. I'm going to go into a couple of these shades down here that I'm going to use for my smoky winged liner. I'm just going to go right on top of that liner, and I'm just going to smoke and smudge this out. I'm going to kind of stamp it on and kind of wiggle it into the lash line, and then I'm going to kind of turn the brush around and just kind of push up on that just to get a really kind of a smoky edge there. And then I'm going to pull this out like if I were pulling it into a cat eye. Just gonna pull this out here. And then I'm just gonna kind of stamp right here, kind of drag it down. Once I get it kind of pulled out, then I stamp just to kind of connect it. And then I like to connect it to the lower lash line smoke. A little bit right in there. Just to kind of give me that little pulled out effect. Same thing on the other side. So I did take this out just a little bit farther than normal, just because I did more of a winged out shape up here and through the crease with that fake crease line. So I'm just pulling this out a little farther. I usually place the shadow like over here, and then I just kind of drag it out because I don't want a lot of shadow out here. So this just kind of, it almost kind of like fades as it gets out to the end. It's kind of like a little whoosh. And then I'm just adding a little bit here so that I can connect it. And then I'm going to go back in and take a brush and just kind of put in a little lighter brown shade right here just to kind of connect the lower lash line smoke into this kind of this wing edge right here. And I'm taking it a little bit thinner as on the inner corner, obviously, and then thicker on the outer corner because I do have downturned eyes, so that really kind of creates the illusion that they're not so downturned, along with this little upturn on the actual wing. It just really kind of, it just elongates and gives that lifted eye effect, which we all love and want when you get old like me. This kind of is a nice little plus. All right, I'm going to, what was I going to do next? That's a problem with getting old. You can't remember from one minute to the next. All right, now I remember what I was going to do. I was going to grab this bronzer here, this Perk Up, and on a Sigma E30, this little pencil brush, I'm just going to smoke down that dark brown shade. I'm gonna grab a little bit extra and just kind of bring it up and just kind of smoke out the edge right here of that wing. Going back in and just touching up a little bit on the edges. You know that this is like my signature thing that I literally do all the time. I have to put that little brightness right up here through the inner part of the lid, as well as touch up that little extra inner corner, get that little pop going. All right, on my lips, I am wearing the MAC Spice lip liner. I'm wearing the 90s. I think this is the Runway. Which one did I get? Yeah, this is the 90s Runway, the KKW. It's kind of a peachy, beigey nude, I guess you could call it. And this is the MAC / Patrick Star Peachy Peter. So that is what is on my lips. And I am ready to touch up. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to kind of quickly touch up with this bronzer here and a little bit of the blush, and then I'm going to spray the face. And then I'm going to come back and give you guys my final thoughts. Okay, that completes the look. I absolutely love how it came out, but you guys know that I'm all about these bronzy and peachy looks. I try to keep this really light and bright and open. I just love how it came out. It's just really soft, and then you have a really pretty elongated lifted eye effect, the winged liner and the crease shape. So yeah, I love it. And you guys know that I love these kind of palettes. This peachy palette, you guys know I'm all about the bronzes, bronzies and the peaches and the corals and that whole color family. You guys know I just live for that. But I like this palette because it's a total plug and play. Literally every shade in here just meshes together. It's an effortless blend. It's a no-brainer. You don't even have to think. It's literally a plug and play, as you see with this beautiful look that I got with the palette. So that is it. And of course, you guys know I love Colourpop. So it's a thumbs up for me, and yeah, that's it. Mwah. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget we will be doing this P. Louise palette soon. I can't wait to play in that. Okay, that's it. Mwah. Love you guys. I will see you in my next one. Bye.